Welcome folks, I would like to talk to you today about the imbalance of the Russian occupational forces and the potential threat of their invasion of Ukraine. According to the information that has appeared in open sources on the composition of Russian troops, we can confirm the fact of their absolute inability to conduct large-scale offensive operations. But in order to explain why the Russians are now limited in their ability to conduct full-scale offensive operations, one should use such a measure as a battalion tactical group. Yes, it is not really applicable to Russian forces right now, for a number of reasons, but it is a telling measure. So, according to the latest data on the composition of the occupation troops deployed on the territory of Ukraine, we can observe a complete inconsistency of this entire mass with the staffing of battalion tactical groups. According to the table, there are only 74 full-fledged groups on the territory of Ukraine, all the rest will have a deficit of functionality in all parameters except cannon fodder. This is largely why the Russian forces have no classic battalion tactical groups for a long time, but only adaptive homunculi like the Storm and others like it. After the loss of manpower and equipment led to the disappearance of the battalion tactical groups as a class, the Russian army began to move less and less on a broad front. As its losses continued to rise, and its equipment deteriorated, the army began to confine itself to narrower areas and locales. At the end of April 2023, with 369,000 soldiers on the territory of Ukraine, the Russian command proudly and aspirationally reports in its daily report not about the capture of the region, district, city or village, but about the capture of the street in the small town of Bakhmut. The most interesting thing is that all this mass, driven into Ukraine, is now unable not only to attack on a broad front and seize regions and districts, but also to conduct full-fledged defensive operations. Also, tell me at least one example of a successful occupant defense in an AFU counteroffensive. They could not hold the northern bridgehead in the defense, they could not hold Kharkiv region, the right bank Kherson region as well, although their natural channels allowed to conduct a long-term defense, and not only, but, no. So, no matter how many Russian soldiers dig trenches, it doesn't help them. But what is most interesting about this story is that having all this mass on the territory of Ukraine, without any result for itself, Russian troops have weakened the contingent in the territory of Russia itself, which is practically unprotected, and, the funniest, the weakest contingent they have in the temporarily occupied territories of Crimea. Those brilliant minds had managed to dig themselves into an even deeper hole than they were in back in July 2022, when it was already painfully obvious that their presence on the right bank was a one-way ticket to oblivion. And now, it seems like they're repeating the same mistake all over again in virtually every occupied territory. It's like they're trying to set a new world record for military incompetence. Subscriber is like a good friend, and you can never have too many friends. Hit that subscribe button. I'm wrapping up for today, but I'll see you all tomorrow.